Yo, what's going on, my broskies? Here with another WOD video. Anyways, today I'll be flying the new Spitfire Mark 5C Premium against Japanese planes to see how it holds up. Now, in my last review of this aircraft, I didn't realize it could fly on New Guinea, so finally you guys will get to see that gameplay. So my main concern for the aircraft is that it would not be able to outturn ZEROS and that I would end up with a slower B&Z plane, kind of like dogfighting with the P-40C. The only advantage I seemed to have was armament, but that was surprisingly not the case. When I first tried B&Zing with this plane, it went more smoothly than I anticipated. The lightweight factor of the plane really kicked in as I was able to climb forever. Even though my speeds were incredibly low at times and would stall out any typical B&Z fighter, the Spitfire just seemed to keep on going. Now this game my plane had a huge advantage because not only was I able to B&Z, but also outturn the faster Japanese aircraft like the Hind and the K-94. Combine that with tons of 20mm and you have yourself a very overpowered plane. Overall, this plane was incredible to fly over New Guinea, and if you haven't tried it yet, I definitely recommend it. Now let's dive into the loadout and tactics that I used. I equipped 100% fuel with no bombs and standard armament. I also set my conversions to 400 meters, but this is all a preference. If there's one thing I do highly recommend, it's that you put it on 100% fuel. You will need every single drop of it, trust me. Onto tactics, boom and zoom seem to work really well against all aircrafts, but there are some that I would avoid. If you have a significant altitude advantage, the fastest of Japanese planes should not be able to catch you, but if you don't, then try your luck out turning a Hind or K-94. Those planes are extremely fast and both have insane armaments. Outturning them should work in all scenarios unless there are multiple opponents. As for ZEROS and slow turn fighting aircraft, B&Z should work with no problem. Usually you can just down them on the first strafe due to the firepower of this plane, but if you don't, just gain some speed and pull up in a zoom climb, preferably at a 90-degree angle for the best efficiency. For some reason you don't stall out as easily if you're at a steeper angle. If they stick on you for a bit, then just rotate or spin your aircraft to dodge the bullets. You can use either your rudder or your ailerons for this, or both if you want. Just make sure that you always remain higher than your opponent. Now for defense, let's assume a K-94 is diving down on you. The first step is to face the K-94 to create less room to aim for the opponent. Then do a defensive spiral all the way to the ground or ocean floor or until they pull off. Proceed to follow them and take shots. Ammo should not be an issue. Now let's review some gameplay. So as you can see, I'm in a Spitfire here, and right now I'm out climbing what appears to be a, I don't know, K-84 or something like that, one of those. So yeah, I'm just basically severely out climbing this thing, which honestly I didn't think it'd climb this well, but it really blew my mind here. Even though it was going incredibly slow climbing, I mean, still, that's really ridiculous. I think it's a, yeah, anyways, he got lit up. He stalled out and just able to take pop shots like that. And if you just play it like that every single time, I mean, you shouldn't really have any issues with boom and zooming. That's an ideal scenario. Of course, it doesn't always work out like that. So just make sure you do it how you feel comfortable with, and don't take too risky of maneuvers unless you really have to. And just most importantly, don't waste your energy trying to do something stupid. So just know that you can just out climb them, and you don't need to like do flips and stuff like that. Just be smart about it, guys, and you should be okay. Here we have an A6M3. Now this plane can outturn us, and we are going not the fastest right now, even though it is pretty fast for a Spitfire. I'm gonna go ahead and reduce my speed just because I think I can kill it on the first strafe, which I can. But other than that, you normally wouldn't want to because they're pretty fast and they can stick with you even on that climb. And the Spitfires aren't really that durable, so you just gotta be really careful with it. Here I was gonna try going head on head, but I don't think he was going for it, so I kind of just lit him up here. This is a Hind. I'm pretty sure you can outturn Hind, so that's kind of what I went for. And I knew I was going faster than it, so I could have always dived, or not dived, but climbed out of there if I needed to. So let's go back to parts of the script here. Well, hopefully this tactic works for you and you find success using this plane over New Guinea. Personally, I think it's one of the best planes to fly on New Guinea due to its versatility and high firepower. Fuel is pretty much the only issue I encountered. Other than that, you should be wrecking most opponents. In fact, I ended up doing so well, I ended up running out of fuel and attempted a very poorly planned crash landing. I kind of just wanted to see what would happen if I landed with the gears on. Usually when crash landing, never have your gears down, as it will most likely flip over your plane. Instead, pull up your gears and gently touch down. I was just kind of surprised to find out that the plane would still blow up even with no fuel in it. I'm not really sure if that's supposed to happen, but it did. So if you know anything about it, just let me know down in the comments below. So if there's one thing that really bothers me with this plane, I think it's the fuel efficiency. I'm not too sure if realistically it eats up fuel this fast, but I'm pretty sure my lawnmower lasts longer than this. And I mean, my car gets the worst gas mileage, and I haven't ran out of gas yet, and this thing's like gone in like 10 minutes. So I don't know what's going on here, but it definitely I don't think it's supposed to go like that, but it does. And maybe it's for balance issues. I'm not too sure. Reducing your throttle can help you save some fuel, but I'm not too sure how much more efficient it'd be, because you'll go incredibly slow if you're not flying 100%. And I even tried that out for a bit. You know, I flew at 50%, but I was pretty much just stalling out. Maybe the smart thing to do would have been to gain as much altitude as I possibly could have, and then just kind of glided all the way back to base. But obviously I didn't do that. I was trying to test something here. I just wanted to see if I could crash land with my gears on, but it was kind of like a last second decision. I was just wondering if it wasn't a test. Like if I wanted to crash landing it, I would have, but you know, I could have just respawned or rejected or something like that. There's honestly no reason to fly back to the base. You don't lose points or anything if you just respawn. It doesn't count as a kill or as a death or anything like that. So to me, that's kind of weird. I think they should make it deduct points if you die or something like that, or maybe increase the respawn time. Make it worthwhile to actually save the plane, save the pilot maybe, I don't know. But usually, yeah, like I said, don't land with your gears on. I never do. It's just, I just wanted to see if I could do it. And I'm sure you definitely could. But obviously, you know, I was kind of stalling out here at like 70 miles an hour, which I was really surprised about, because I was like climbing at like 60. And the plane blows up still, and I was like, what? There's no fuel in it. What blows up? Maybe there's something in there I'm not too sure about. Maybe it's oil. But I don't think oil blows up like that. I don't know. But anyways, so we're going on to some strafing gameplay. This plane, like I said, is heavily armed. It's actually really effective at taking out AA guns and especially ships. I personally don't even carry the bomb because it's not gonna be enough to kill a ship, and the guns are just strong enough to light up the ship. You can basically disable them so that your tanks or aircraft landing on the field don't really just get lit up by them. And it looks like our B-25 there just left. I was gonna escort him for a bit, but he didn't seem too interested. So I'm just gonna strafe everything by myself. First, I'm gonna start with all the AA guns because those are usually the most deadly. And I think they should really fix the AA. Honestly, to me, the AA just seems really weird in this game. It's kind of like the flak itself in general. First of all, they're either like really accurate or really not accurate. And it's kind of a weird mixture. Like it doesn't feel. It just feels like I don't know. Like it's just a weird feeling. But like it seems like it has to be a direct hit to do damage to you, which is interesting to me. I don't know. I think that if they should like land close to you at airfields and stuff, but like kind of like an IL-2, but like it doesn't have to like directly hit your plane, and even if it does, it shouldn't just like instantly blow it up. It should knock parts off, put in some damage. You know, it doesn't just instantly kill you unless it is an actual direct hit. I think they could rework the AA to make it more of a threat and more of an actual target. As you can see, I'm lighting up the ship with like no problem. It's not even firing back. It's kind of weird to me, to be honest. Like sometimes the ships will fire back, but like they'll usually never hit you unless you fly in a straight line. Like in my last video, you could see a Stuka get hit, but like honestly, it's too easy. I don't know. Like the strafing ships aren't fun anymore. There used to be like a whole bunch of, you know, shooting and flak and everything, and now I don't know if there's an update where I know there was an update where they did reduce it, but honestly they're not even threats. Ships are like friggin' IL-2. When you're playing IL-2, AA is like killer. Like the AA trains, the AA ships, War Thunder, they're also really killer. This game is kind of like, I mean, at times they're either annoying, like they're never killer. They're just either annoying or nothing. I don't know. But I think they could rework it to make it, you know, definitely more of a challenge. And instead of just nerfing bombers, they should just make AA tougher, and they'll have to work around the AA instead of just reducing health and stuff like that. Honestly, I don't think bombers are OP. I think people just have problems with the speeds they fly out, because they can just kind of get out of every situation. But honestly, I think they could definitely work on the bombers, work on the AA and stuff. And I know that's not what this video is really about, but I figured I might as well talk about it if, you know, if I got some gameplay of it. You probably don't really need to use your 20mm on the ships, but I was kind of just bored, and there was no targets. There's no enemy aircraft on the game anymore, so I was just kind of strafing ships and stuff, seeing how I was going to go. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say for this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit a like and stuff. And let me know what you guys think about buffing AA maybe. I went for a kamikaze here in third person, but it didn't really look as cool as I thought it would. But other than that, there was a new update where you can save your progress now online. So make sure, all you have to do is just log on to the game and it'll save your data. So definitely make sure you just log on to the game to get your data saved. And until then, guys, I'll see you in my next Wings of Duty video. Take care. Bye-bye.